I don't recall anything about the accident. I just woke up in the hospital. I was basically on all this life support tubes. I was awake, but I couldn't talk, I couldn't move.
She had been told that the crash was her fault. She was a 17-year-old high school senior who had only had a license for a year and couldn't remember anything from the crash. Our independent investigation that included a professional reconstruction of the crash found that it clearly was not her fault. It was the fault of the other driver, despite the fact that Pamela had actually rear-ended the vehicle in front of her on the highway.
We had a bunch of medical bills piled up. I couldn't finish actually attending school because I wasn't physically able to go to my classes.
The first thing I do is address my client's immediate concerns. We were able to take that stack of medical bills, sort it all out, and chip away at it, working with the insurance companies, making sure that Pamela and her family's interests are being protected until we were able to make it go away completely.
Everything was much, much simpler. Eric Zajac was able to fix all of my bills. I didn't believe that I could get better, but with Eric Zajac by my side, fighting for me and always rooting for me, I had that hope.
It was nice, bright, sunny, clear, practically no cars around me, and it was just a nice ride on my motorcycle. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, an SUV comes right across the intersection, right into me. And I found myself laying in a hospital bed, glad to be alive, but wondering, what do I do next?
Aaron was in no position to talk to anybody. We knew we needed to act quickly to keep that investigation open so that the officer would hear Mr. Bass's side of the facts. When we did that, we were able to show that Mr. Bass was completely free of any fault in what happened to him that day. In the middle of all this medical treatment he was getting, his insurance company just suddenly stopped paying his bills, and they are piling up very quickly. And what we found out was that because he had turned 65, his insurance company just assumed he would go to Medicare and Medicare would pay his bills. And in the course of a day, we were able to reverse the situation.
It's taken a lot of stress off, a lot of worry off, and knowing that somebody's there in a time where you're not even sure what's next. And I'm just glad that Eric Zajac was the lawyer of choice.
I was coming down from the second level of the truck, and my leg went through a stone drain that was broken. I needed surgery on my knee, but right after the surgery, around 3 or 4 weeks after the surgery, my employer was trying to force me to get back to work. And once we got into that the courtroom, it was a thing of beauty that they kept on fighting for me, and they were always communicating with me. Really felt like they were my friends, not just my lawyer, and I love that. Forever be grateful.
One of the most important things that I impress upon a client is that they can count on me to have their backs, because they don't just want a lawyer to process their case. They want a person who understands their situation and who understands that there is one person who has their interests at stake, and not an insurance company's interest and not a corporation's interest, but their interest. That's my job. That's why we fight for our clients.